Welcome back. The 9th edition of the Africa Aerospace and Defence exhibition enters its third day at the Waterkloof Airforce Base in Pretoria. Let's go straight there now. We crossed our reporter Patricia Visagie. Patricia, what's happening?
Welcome back, and thank you so much for joining us once again here at the 2016 AAD. Now, of course, an event of this magnitude is not only about displaying all the products and merchandise that, of course, can be, traded among the various countries that are exhibiting here, but it's also the perfect opportunity to bring, new ventures and new opportunities for the youth, especially South Africa, that, of course, is grappling with the high unemployment, especially among the youth. And one such an organization that of course aims to curb the high unemployment rate among the youth is the Youth Development Program that is part of the AAD 2016. And earlier I spoke to the chairperson of the Youth Development Program, and that is Mr. Kulisile Kumalo. So let's just go to that interview and hear what he had to say. Just again, tell us what the role of the Youth Development Program is here at the 2016 AAD.
Thank you very much, Patricia, and good morning to your listeners and viewers at home. The key role, as I usually summarize it, is to secure the future of the defense, aviation, as well as the aerospace industry. How do we do that? We bring youngsters, learners from grade 10, 11, and 12 to come and experience, touch, see, feel all the different technologies that are exposed here, so that they can prepare themselves to secure this industry when they are old enough to join as professionals after completing their education.
And let's talk about the age groups, the grades, and maybe how you go about recruiting the various learners.
We're targeting, learners grade 10, 11, and 12. We're targeting those learners that are doing pure mathematics and science, what we call STEM subject. We're looking across the country. Today we've got schools from Limpopo, Mpumalanga, from all over the Free State. We've got learners from Eastern Cape who traveled, overnight to come here. Some of them flew in this morning. So our footprint is across the country, and we try to ensure that the deepest rural areas, we reach them and we bring learners here. And we do that with our partners. We've got quite a lot of partners, like your Dinel, your Armsco companies, SAP, South African Airways, South African Express, and Mengo. And they help to ferry the learners to bring them to this, and that is the touch engage part of our career expo, because we don't want learners to get bags and brochures and go away. We want them to touch the technology, to feel the technology. That's why the Department of Defense, the South African Air Force, the South African Army Special Forces, they've actually displayed their equipment here, so that the learners can see that when you look at the defense industry, you're not only looking at a man carrying a rifle. There's a bigger, part, there's a bigger role that you can play within the defense industry. Like for example, a combat pilot, you have to study, you have to work very, very hard to become a combat pilot. To become an aeronautical engineer, we're looking for aeronautical engineers in the country. If you look at the commercial industry, the commercial aviation industry, you need pilots, you need aircraft mechanics. The industry is much, much bigger than what people tend to think of.
And we're always reminded that within the Defense Force, there's almost any and every career that you can think of, doctors, nurses, chefs, whatever you can think of, you can find it right here. And those opportunities is exactly what you're trying to unlock here.
Absolutely. And I was speaking to our exhibitors, asking them, what are the learners asking? The learners are saying they're surprised to see that there are doctors, nurses, journalists, camera people in the military. So basically, people need to consider the defense as a career of choice. Gone are those days where the military was, your type of, a bad thing as people viewed it. Gone are those days where modern, we've got a modern equipment that we're using today, and very exciting careers, because we're investing in new technologies. We're investing in very, very exciting technologies. I'm sure you've seen the Gripen fighter aircraft flying this morning. And what we normally do is, we get the pilots. As soon as they touch down, they come and talk to our learners to tell them, to explain what is a G-force. When you talk about G-forces that you study at grade 10, they come and practically explain it to the learners. So our career expo is not the type, the type where you get brochures and bags and then go home. You touch, you feel the equipment, you see the people, they tell you their stories. How did I become a pilot? You know, there's a young lady that we usually bring, Miss Refilo Munama, who's the only black female that I know who's a helicopter pilot as well as a fixed-wing aircraft pilot. You know, and she tells amazing stories. How did she become a pilot? You know, you find that she's very small. You know, they had to put weights on her to get into an aircraft for her to qualify. You understand? And there are so many touching stories that we want our learners to know that it doesn't matter where you come from. Success does not say you come from Kofimvamba, or it does. When you are successful, it's basically the world becomes your oyster.
And how different is your recruitment program from the many that we know, across the country and in the various organizations, departments, and companies across the country?
Look, I'm not talking down on other career exhibitions, because we need career exhibitions to share information, but I think the 21st century demands that we change our approach, we change our tactics with regards to how we actually, tell learners about careers. You cannot come and talk about a complex technology without the learner seeing that complex technology, at least simplifying it. So what we do, we sit down with all our exhibitors and we tell them that you must chunk it, you must simplify it. We give them a time limit to say you speak in 20 minutes, you must have spoken to the learners, you must have delivered the message. But you must bring, it is compulsory for you to bring your equipment here. Without your equipment, learners cannot see. So if you go to our career exhibition, you'll find there's all sorts of equipment. We've got a scale model of the Roy Falk attack helicopter that you've seen flying here. The learners get to see it and they get to touch it. And the engineer who designed that combat aircraft will tell you that, this is the most difficult part of design because, the helicopter has to be very agile. So ours is very different because we emphasize on the touch, on the feel, and on the engage. And how do we engage our learners? We take database, we keep a database of our learners. We encourage our learners to bring their CVs. Gone are the days where learners just come in with their bags and they walk around. They must bring their CVs, so they are getting engaged as well. They bring their CVs. If they're interested in the company, they leave their CV there. And I want to encourage the learners around the country that if you go to a career expo, don't just go empty-handed. Take your CV with and leave it with the company that you're interested in. Make sure that you get the contact details of those companies. So ours is very, very compulsory to do that. And our learners walk away here engaged, motivated, and they are seeing all of these things around them.
In short, we are running out of time now. Just give us your footprint. How many people have you helped over the years? And, what's the success rate of your program?
Success rate is very, very high because if you look at the defense industry, the way we are recruiting these youngsters. And what we do, we recruit them and then we bring them back here to come and talk to our youngsters. So we've got, if you look at companies like Amsco, Denel, GEW and all of those, they are recruiting on an annual basis. And it is through this that we are recruiting. So our success rate is very, very high. I can't give the exact figures, but it is very, very high, our success rate.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing that important information with us. Of course, Kulisile Kumalo, and he's the chairperson of the Youth Development Program. That is a part of the organizers here and also, helping to exhibit and to unlock the opportunities that are there for the youth. It's back to you in the studio.
Patricia Visagie from Pretoria. Now, government